Let's go. Welcome in, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the trade deadline 2023-24 season live reaction. We hear officially as the New York Knicks made a massive move today, a chess move. We're going to talk about it. We've got a game tonight, but the deadline is just about to pass. We had some news that from Adrian Wojnarowski just come through that it looks like DeJounte Murray will stay with the Atlanta Hawks. Bruce Brown, of course, is still with the Toronto Raptors, and we'll bring you up to speed with all the moves as the deadline passes. But we know why you're here, man. First and foremost, thanks for joining us. Welcome in. Live chat, replay squad, salute. Huge move today, a few hours ago. Leon Rose, as he always does, likes to make his move early. And we go back to the well, fam, with the Detroit Pistons, ladies and gentlemen, pulling off a double move for Bogdanovic and old friend Alec Burks. I'm hyped, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is a huge move, a home run, right? We didn't really hear a lot of talk about Bogdanovic because, we all felt it would be a good fit, but none of us kind of really thought how realistic it would be, without giving up any first round picks. And that's where we have to start, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why this move is so good is because, of course, we bid farewell to some of our players, but players that, we felt, were not really part of the future. Obviously, Quentin Grimes is an exception, but you got to give up to get. So we lose Evan Fournier's salary. Malachi Flynn will go in a separate deal because he can't be traded with other pieces, so he'll slide into an exception. But we lose Ryan Arcidiacono as well, 2 second-round picks, and Quentin Grimes. But what do we bring in, baby? We bring in 30 points per game combined, 20 points per game. Bojan Bogdanovic, the 34-year-old swingman, right? He's built for it. He's been around this league for a minute. He's a veteran, and he's going to help us fill it up, man. He can start. He can come off the bench. He can play the 3 or the 4. There's a lot of different lineups we can have with him, especially when OG and Randall get back. But another reason why the move was so good is because, of course, he's going to help us for the now as well. And, of course, we already know what we're getting, man, in Alec Burks, right? Another professional scorer, a player who's familiar with the system, Thibodeau, and the city. And, of course, for those of you that may have forgotten, Bogdanovic is also formerly the Brooklyn Net. So he's familiar with New York City as well. So these guys don't really have to, acclimate so much. They've spent a lot of time in the city. They're going to come in and they're going to help us for now. Man, I'm hyped, and I'd love to get your reactions. Let us know in the chat how you're feeling right now. Raw emotion, excitement. I'm hyped. Of course, we will see more moves around the league. But so far a lot of people have, heaped a lot of praise on the New York Knicks. Kevin Pelton grades it an A C plus for the Pistons because he felt, it's lopsided. I mean, for the Pistons side of things, I think, it makes sense for their future as well. Obviously, the immediate reaction is why didn't they get a first round pick, for parting with Bogdanovic? Who knows? But I think there's a lot of different layers to this, as there always is. I think we cast our eye back to draft night, where the New York Knicks did do the Detroit Pistons a good favor and helping them land big man Jalen Duren as well. So that cannot be forgotten. We said it at the time. The Knicks gave the Pistons a lot of second-round picks to help us take Kemba Walker as well. We traded them Alec Burks and Nerlens Noel, and we helped them land Jalen Duren. And that goodwill has come back to the New York Knicks, baby. You do a good deed, and another brother helps you out as well. But, of course, they do get Quentin Grimes. Quentin's going to be able to get all the reps, all the, the platform, the runway that you could possibly hope for young Quentin Grimes as well. I would have loved him to stay. Like Buzzabita says, we lose Grimes, but we trust Leon's judgment. Yep, you're spot on, man. 100% agree with you in that, and salute to you. Everyone coming through the building right now. We're excited. In terms of Grimes' future as well, it does look like, the Pistons are obviously, they're tooling up. They're going to waive Killian Hayes as well, which was a surprising move, but kind of not that surprising. But Quentin's going to get a nice future there. But obviously we do lose a lot of our youth now. Obi gone, RJ, Quickly, and Grimes gone. What does that mean? We're all in right now, and I feel like we are a contender in the East, right? A contender to get through the East and make it to the NBA Finals, right? Bogdanovic again. Started the year with an injury, though. He's 34 years old, averaging still 20 points per game. He can create a shot. He can play 3 or the 4 as well. One thing that initially comes to my mind is the 5-man unit that we can run out there when OG and Randall get back. We can have OG guard 5s in the playoffs. We can have Randall at the 4, Bogey at the 3, Devo at the 2, and Brunson at the 1. And that is going to create elite floor spacing against any playoff lineup, man. JJ says, really good trade. Bought in 2 snipers. Good luck doubling Brunny right now as well. Yep, I agree. Exactly like I said. Good day. Great day, David. Salute. Welcome in. Vaughn, A+ for the grade. Yeah, I can't give it any other grade right now, but an A+. 007 Angelo, salute. And Knicks fam. Tay's also saying it. Teams cannot double Brunson and Randall. ISO to pass will be unstoppable. Yeah, that's it. That's why this move is so good. Alec Burks can create his shot as well. And, I understand a lot of Knicks fans would have felt a little underwhelmed if it was just Alec Burks. We've seen that before. People were hoping for a bigger move. However, we got that today. We got Bogdanovic with Burks, and we get to keep all our firsts, baby. So I'm super hyped, right? We got a game tonight. We'll be live post-game live as well for everyone that's wondering, right? We'll go right through for another hour or so. We'll wrap up what's happened around the league as well, and we'll get all your thoughts, right? I'm excited for this next phase of the Knicks' future. I haven't felt this excited about a Knicks team since 94 or 99, right? This is the best team since then, right? No doubt about it, right? This is the best roster. Obviously, we wait to see the chemistry, but I still feel like it's a more talented roster than the 12-13, seasons with Melo and Kidd and Felton and co. David says, when we're fully healthy, it's going to be raining threes. Yes, sir. Vaughn says the trade gives us multiple ways to win. Best defensive and offensive balance in the league when healthy. Yeah, exactly. I think the balance. So I'll give you a couple of lineups that I feel like are our best lineups when everyone's healthy, and our best lineups right now, which has me really excited. So I'm going to start with the lineups we can put out there right now. Assuming OG and Randall will be out all the way till the deadline after the All-Star break, which is I think the right move. All right, sit those guys out, even if they were healthy. Although we know Randall's going to be back after. But I think right now we could put up lineups of Brunson, DiVincenzo. We could put Bogdanovic, Precious, and then the big man iHeart, and then we can have Alec Burks with Deuce McBride, Josh Hart, and Jericho Sims. So that gives both lineups a lot more balance, more scoring. With Bogey in the starting unit, you push Hart back to the bench. You still got the size with Precious and iHeart's rebounding. You got another floor spacer together with Brunny and Devo. And then, of course, you got more shooting and creating with Deuce McBride and Hart off the bench with Alec Burks. With OG and Randall back, the world's our oyster, man. We can do whatever we like. We can chop and change. Like I said, we could have a 5-man out, stretch shooting with OG guarding 5s, Randall at the 4 now. We don't have to worry about that. Bogey can still guard 4s as well, and the 3. Elite floor spacing, man. Buzzer, we won't see Burks at the point again. And I understand the pause for concern. But yeah, Deuce McBride, I feel like is still going to get those reps, well, at least for now. Playoff runs, we'll wait and see, you know. But yeah, Tibbs does have a lot of trust in those guys. I'm going to bring up Twitter and we'll refresh to see the other news. But DeJounte Murray staying with the Atlanta Hawks. We have some commentary from NBA insider Zach Lowe on NBA Today. The New York Knicks are operating like the single smartest franchise in the entire NBA. That's why this move was such a home run. Leon Rose, he continues to cook. And it also gives us the flexibility for the future as well. When we're talking about Evan's salary, and now we have a Bogdanovic who can be traded in the future as well. We can pull off that huge blockbuster deal, you know, when we need to. So that's awesome as well. Bogdanovic is obviously a lot better salary filler than Evan Fournier, you know, in any potential, you know, future deal as well. So absolutely buzzing. I give it an A+. And I want to get your grades. Continue to give us your buzz. Buzzer says a B. We keep our first, but we lose Grimes. Bojan is better. And Fournier, better than Fournier with more hair, and Burks at the point makes me nauseous. I give it an A+. We'll wait and see. Obviously, we've got to see how it looks on the court. Purely for the fact is I feel like we've filled the void that RJ and Quickly left now. We got bench scoring. We got another starter. We replaced the 30 points per game that we miss with RJ and Quick. And we still have OG and Precious as well. So that's huge as well. Also, you know, the steps that Deuce McBride's taken, I don't expect him to run Burks at the point. If it is, it'd maybe be off the bench a little bit. But I still feel like, you know, Burks as the secondary playmaker off the bench is going to be good. You know, again, when we're fully healthy, man, it's going to be Bogdanovic and Burks off the bench. Quite potentially, you know, if you got obviously OG and Devo. I don't expect him to touch that or affect that as well. What's good, David? Burks, not just the point guard to Tibbs. People think he played the 3 spot and 2 spot with turnovers before with Tibbs. Vaughn says Bogdanovic's contract gives us the ammo, yep, to acquire that superstar in the off-season. Definitely. But I really feel like it gives us the best chance to win this season. Right? Realistically, we keep all our firsts. That's the number one goal. Regardless of what you think of just the players, we got to keep all our firsts, and we got Brunson, OG, and Randall help. Enough help to win this season without letting this season go to waste, right? So it's very hard to balance, right? A tightrope. Do you guys want to sacrifice the future to try and win now? Or do you rather sacrifice the season and try to, you know, preserve the future? I think Leon Rose has done the best job of doing both, you know, being as competitive as we can be. Because don't forget, if you want to get DeJounte Murray, you know, he hasn't even been traded. But if we were to, you know, pull off that move, it was going to be, you know, 3 first-round picks, 2 first-round picks, 3. Now we get to keep all of them. And we can make a whole lot of moves as well. It's so multifaceted as well. Yeah. Salute. Let's get it. we'll do a correction. I know there's a couple of Bogdanovic's as well. So let's just correct it. Yeah, we're getting Bojan Bogdanovic. Bogdanovic is the one on the Atlanta Hawks as well. Yep. So we are getting Bojan, Bojan, as well. That's the guy we're getting. And Bogdanovic is the one with the Atlanta Hawks as well. So anyways, let's refresh and see what's up. We obviously had the Dallas Mavericks, who I felt did a decent job. They traded Grant Williams to the Hornets, and they got PJ Washington as well. As the move is now official, Knicks PR account has officially approved this trade, acquired Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks from the Detroit Pistons, and we're buzzing. I'm excited. We've got a game tonight. It looks like we'll have 6 regular players available, plus the two-ways, if Brunson can't go. So it's going to be DiVincenzo, Hart. It's going to be, Precious. It's going to be Taj Gibson. It's going to be Isaiah Hartenstein and Deuce McBride. And then there's Toppin, there's Charlie Brown, and there's Dwayne Washington as well, if Brunson doesn't go. But I'm not really worried about tonight's game in terms of win or loss, right? Even rest Brunson tonight, I think that's going to be the smart option. What do you guys think? Steph Bondi is saying Knicks aren't making any moves pre-deadline other than the Burks and Bogdanovic. Big day for the Knicks and looks good. Yep. I've yet to see anyone really down on the move. So James L. Edwards III, who covers the Pistons for The Athletic, he's reporting now, hearing the Pistons are also likely to waive Ryan Arcidiacono once the trade with New York is completed. And no, the New York Knicks cannot re-sign Ryan Arcidiacono. Yep. So that's a situation that we can now, move forward with. Ryan Arcidiacono will be missed, of course, in the locker room. And the Knicks aren't allowed to re-sign Ryan Arcidiacono. Now, Spencer Dinwiddie also was a part of a trade from the Brooklyn Nets. Spencer Dinwiddie is going to be on the buyout market as well. The Toronto Raptors are keeping Bruce Brown. So that's another big win, in my opinion. A guy who wasn't really a good fit. And I really feel like, the fact that we didn't get Bruce Brown, we got guys that fit better. And I really feel like it's a good thing. Will Selkin in the building, salute. Like the trade a lot, 2 potential big-time contributors for the minimal cost. Yep, I'm feeling you on that. David says we'll get him back next season. Regards to Ryan Arcidiacono. Yep. Buzzabita says, why was trading Flynn such a special circumstance? Yep, great question. The nature of the contract, I feel, and the way we acquired him from the Raptors means that we weren't able to package him with any other player. So he could only be eligible to be traded separately. But fortunately, the Pistons have an exception, and he was able to just fit straight into their exception. So yeah, we basically just had to split Malachi Flynn from the rest of the package as well. And rest in peace to evil Dante. Will says we are welcome for the contract for Ryan Arcidiacono. Yeah, definitely he's served us quite well for his role in the locker room. Feel good vibes, but he's also not part of the future as well, like we know. Ian Begley saying the Knicks are indeed done making deals, per league sources. Sometimes deals are trickling in at this point, but the Knicks won't be making any. So we turn our attention to the buyout market, potentially, there's a lot of guys. There's Killian Hayes, who's available. Gordon Hayward did get traded, so he won't be on the buyout market. The team did trade for him. I believe it might have been the Raptors. We'll get through all the trades. But yeah, everyone's, kind of feeling like the Knicks have made one of the best moves of the deadline, if not the best. Once again, the Chicago Bulls have not made a trade for a player since August 2021. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's crazy. So the Bulls want to stand pat. What do you guys think of the Bulls standing pat with that situation? Yep. He's an expiring salary, is Evil Dante. Yep. So, yeah, Bogdanovic turns 35 in April. So, I must admit, I haven't watched a lot of the Pistons. The statistics tell us he's shooting 39% from three. He's averaging 20 points per game comfortably. So, I mean, the man hasn't lost, the skill sets, the talent that he's had around this league. And that's good to see. Right, he's not going to be the highest usage guy, we know. He's going to play on the wings alongside OG and Dante. He's going to make sure Josh Hart, isn't relied upon to put up shots. Like you guys are saying, when Brunny gets doubled, the right guy is going to be catching the ball right now. And let's get Josh Hart's minutes down, where they need to be. And we can get Bogdanovic, some decent minutes, but we don't need to overplay him. So we could be fresh for the playoffs. That's another great advantage with this trade, the depth as well. And I want to see your rotation, guys. I want to see your like a 10-man rotation and favorite lineups with these guys now. Yeah, like Buzzer says, yeah, I agree. Chicago. Unable to deal Zach LaVine, Vucevic, DeRozan's expiring. They're gonna have to. They made their bed, and they're gonna have to lie in it, for the future as well. They're still in the play-in, so I guess they're just a franchise that's happy to sell some tickets, maybe make the play-in, try to get hot, at that stage, try to make some moves maybe for the future as well. If Zach LaVine gets healthy. I could understand like selling low on Zach LaVine. Yeah, realistically, isn't it better to just keep him? It's like a lot of people feel that way and felt that way about Julius Randle. Other teams would only give us pennies on the dollar for a Julius Randle trade, but Julius Randle with our team on the Knicks is more valuable to us, because he can help us win with Brunson. Zach LaVine, kind of similar situation. With the Bulls, right? If they're going to have to, settle for a first round or just, package assets, then I think, the Bulls should just keep Zach LaVine with that. Yes, sir. As you see in the thumbnail, Buzzer, Leon Rose is straight cooking right now. And he is executive of the year for me, especially after this deal. The Knicks have catapulted above Philly, if there was ever any doubt, above the Bucks now. So the Bucks moved. They pulled off a trade for Pat Bev. They traded Cam Payne and a second-round pick to get Pat Bev, which I think is another minor move. I don't really think that is, anything that's going to swing the needle, for them. Philadelphia pulled off their move before ours, trading for Buddy Hield. Now, I actually think that was a solid move, for Philadelphia. Buddy Hield can get more usage. He can help out Tyrese Maxey with the scoring load as well. And in terms of who did the Pacers get for Buddy Hield, they got Mook Morris, fam. A guy that I was, kind of feeling like the Knicks could do with, another shooter, another four. But we got that in Bogey, fam. Yep, Mook Morris, a couple of seconds, Yeah, solid deal for both teams, actually, because Mook Morris is going to help Indiana bring a bit of toughness, a bit of veteran savviness for the playoffs. But also, what's that mean for Obi, ladies and gentlemen? You got Pascal Siakam, you got the rookie that they drafted as well, uh, and then you've got Mook Morris now, and then Obi. So, Obi might have to, still deal with his 20 minutes a night, 18 minutes per night as well. But yeah, we're moving all the way up, baby, and I really do feel like this puts us up, to being, the top 2 team in the East in terms of depth, right? We're going to go head to head with the best of them. It's important we get a good seed. The depth that this brings now will allow Randall, it'll allow OG to recover, and come back when they're ready. I think that's the main thing. I think we have enough to continue to win, right, and keep up with the Cavs, keep up with the Bucks. We've passed the Bucks just about now with a win, and then keep up with the Celts. So yeah, a stroke of genius, I feel. Doesn't hurt our future at all. It allows us to give the best possible go of this season and make the finals. And then also, man, we're going to be dangerous in the summer, right? With a better tradable contract and all our first round draft picks. In terms of Precious Achua, fam, I think he'll be playing the backup 5 with Bojan playing the backup 4, Hart at the 3, Alec Burks at the 2, Deuce at the 1. But yeah, it's very interchangeable. Will says, I don't know why Toronto traded for Kelly Olynyk, but Ochai Agbaji is a nice pickup for them. Yeah, that's a good trade as well. The Jazz, of course, did get a protected first-round draft pick like they wanted for Olynyk. Ochai Agbaji as well, they had to part with as well. And then, the Utah Jazz do get Gordon Hayward, I believe. I think that was the team that Hayward went to. There's been so many trades happen as we continue to refresh, and it will cover everything. What do you guys think of a potential buyout? Either Dinwiddie, either a Killian Hayes. Is there anybody that's on the buyout that's intriguing you? So the Chicago Bulls are keeping Andre Drummond as well. So that's no surprise. They probably couldn't get what they wanted, man. See, the thing is, some of these teams, right? They set lofty expectations. Dorian Finney-Smith. The New Jersey Nets were asking for 2 firsts. Right? They were never going to get that for a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith, man. So here's some news as well. Another buyout candidate. Shams Charania is reporting that the Spurs are likely to buy out Mook Morris. Wow. Okay, that's very interesting. So how did that come about? The Pacers sent Mook Morris and a second-round pick and cash to the Spurs for Doug McDermott. So Dougie McBuckets finds himself back with the Pacers. And then the Pacers sent Mook Morris, who they acquired from Philly in the Buddy Hield deal. And they're sending him to the San Antonio Spurs. So what do you guys think? Would it be too much to go and get Mook Morris as well? Maybe we could play some small ball, bench unit. I think you're going to kill Precious Achua's minutes as well. So yeah, Kyle Lowry is still with the Hornets, fam, and he's likely facing a buyout as well. But what I'm hearing is that the Philadelphia 76ers have freed up some money now, And Kyle Lowry is a Philly native, and I think he's at the top of their list too, fam. I'm okay if we don't get Lowry. It does make sense for him to go back home, to Philly. They have the role. They have some minutes, for him as well. Will would sign up for a mook for the vet depth, with Randall and OG questionable. Yeah, that's the key thing. Like you said, OG, Randall, their future and their health, is something to really factor in, and that's all the reporting that Begley and Bondi are saying as well, that the uncertain health of OG did factor in, for the Knicks going for Bogey, as well. So, yeah, smart. Once again, Leon Rose, he's doing everything he needs to do, to help this team. So a big team out west, the LA Lakers were quiet. LA rebuffed all efforts to pry loose Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell. Recent play had them reconsidering the value gained by packaging Russell and a 29 first for help. So yeah, D'Lo did raise his play a bit more. So I get it. With that one, I get it. What's good rolling? The Knicks just got back to scoring that they traded away. 100%. Yep, 30 points per game. Back in the building, fam. We really replaced quickly at RJ's production. And we also have OG and Precious now in the building as well. So, super upgrade, yeah, in my opinion. But of course, I think the biggest factor, this season will be health. We can acquire more dudes, but if our top dogs aren't healthy, I think that's number one. But the good thing is this also gives them, time to heal and be back right. Of course, we got some great news that Mitchell Robinson is set to do some on-court stuff after the All-Star break. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we know, the NBA declined the disabled player exception after evaluating. Mitch was a great chance to return this season, and it looks like it's going to happen, fam, before the playoffs. Yep, some people talking about the Knicks bench unit when fully healthy. McBride, 1, Burks, 2, Hart at the 3, Bogey at the 4, Mitch at the 5. If you want to continue to start Isaiah Hartenstein, I think that's fair. We'll see. Another little tidbit, both Burks and Bogdanovic both spent time in Utah with Knicks associate head coach Johnny Bryant as well. Burks was drafted by Walt Perrin, the current assistant GM. He's back in the fold, along with Johnny Bryant. Fam, there's a lot of familiarity. And I tell you why those players have got to be feeling giddy as well. Man, you're going from Detroit. Forget about the city. I'm not throwing shots at the city. Detroit Pistons, all the way to the New York Knicks now, who are third in the East, ready to make a title run. Also back to a big city like New York. Also a city that they've both lived in, together with Walt Perrin, Johnny Bryant, who they hook up, reconnect with as well. Man, I think we're going to get two players that are going to be so happy, and they're going to buy in, to whatever role is required of them. They're going to come to New York, and they're going to be absolutely hyped, to put on for the city. Vaughn says JB, Devo, Randall, OG, and Bogey, 5-out squad. Yeah, let's get it. 5-out squad plus Devo, OG, Bogey, Randall, iHeart, run and shoot. Yeah, appreciate you for those. Team Lockdown D lineups, Deuce, Devo, OG, Precious Mitch. I mean, yeah, that's the versatility, man. Yep. Buzzer says, I'm hearing Randall needs surgery to fully recover. Is this true? Will he play until off-season for surgery? Well, firstly, no one's come out with any official word. So whatever you might have heard, it's just rumors, man. Um, it's just rumors. Nobody knows what's up. I don't know Randall personally, and the Knicks they're keeping things hush, you know. But I think there's always a small chance that surgery is needed, fam. I mean, the injury is still quite new. You know, the shoulder was displaced, and they obviously got it back in place, and they've got to let the everything heal, the inflammation and all of that. They did do the X-ray and MRI, and I think it looks good. I think he's going to attempt to return, play a little bit, see how it feels, and then the second option, if it doesn't work out, might be surgery. But anyone that's saying he needs surgery without seeing him return, I think that's jumping the gun a little bit. I do think Randall's going to give it a go. I think he's going to, see how it feels during the All-Star break. And I do think it's more likely he comes back this season, he plays, and then he does surgery in the summer, fam. So yeah, I'm optimistic. I don't feel like he needs surgery yet. I think that's still something that is a wait and see, kind of thing. But yeah, I'm crossing my fingers with that. But I think you gotta, and what Leon Rose has done, you gotta prepare for the worst, hope for the best, and that's another reason why this trade was so good, because we can continue winning with the current soldiers we've got. You welcome in 30 points per game again with Bogey and Burks. We'll call them B1, B2. Obviously, you got the 1A, 1B with JB and JR. And now you've got a B1 and B2 with Bogey and Burks, obviously with OG Devo. But yeah, I think we can continue winning. We can sustain the rest of the regular season and give this squad, the best possible chance, to get the highest possible seed. But look, realistically, we're going to give it our best shot this year. We weren't expecting to come in and win a title, but what this is also doing is setting things up, for the future as well. Helping replace some of the production lost with Bully Barrett and with Emmanuel as well, who are, they're having their ups and their downs. The Raptors continue to struggle a bit as those guys are adjusting, man, to their new roles. Also, we lose a little bit of discontent in the locker room, like Will's saying. Grimes, has gone through ups and downs this season, and we obviously trade Evan Fournier, who is still young enough to play in the NBA, contribute, as a role player. He's going to be able to probably do some stuff with Detroit. And those guys are out of the locker room now as well. They get what they wish as well. So that's big. So you guys let me know. Are you confident Randall's going to return regular season, return healthy? The New York Knicks main account has officially welcomed in Bojan Bogdanovic as well, the Croatian sharpshooter. Been around the block. He's been with the Utah Jazz, like we said. He's been with Brooklyn Nets as well, don't forget. He was with that squad, I think, with Brook Lopez back when they were on the Brooklyn Nets, fam. So, yeah, he's familiar with the city. Right? Yeah, he don't really need to come in and acclimate so much. He just needs to, come in and do his role, man. Help us fill it up, right? Chris Haynes is reporting that the Sixers are expected to pursue Paul George should he be unable to re-sign the extension with the Clippers as well. We have a situation where Klay Thompson has to sign a new deal with the Warriors as well. He might be available in the summer as well. What do you guys think? Would you be open to a Klay Thompson signing in the summer? A PG? Let's say the Cavs aren't ready to trade Spider yet. They want to run the gauntlet into his final year. There's going to be some other options to look at. Like I said, there's going to be Clay that might be available. PG might not be able to re-sign. We might be able to just run it back, right? If we make a huge run and get to the third round ECF or to the NBA Finals, we might just sit tight, extend Bogey for one more year as well, who has the option as well. We have Mook Morris, who might be available on the buyout, right? I would look into that. Spencer Dinwiddie is that ball handler as well, but yeah, I've always hated him. So from that perspective, I'll be selfish and say I don't want Dinwiddie here. But Killian Hayes has been waived. It's too much of a muchness with Deuce McBride. I think you rock with Deuce in that situation. If Kyle Lowry gets bought out, if Philly's going for him and we have a chance to snatch him from Philly, then that would be something I would consider 100%. Now you're really stacking up the vets. Man, ghetto intellect, let's go. Salute. What do you grade this trade, man? I've gone the A+. Buzzer says, can we get the YouTuber Brian Stutterer MD on the show? He's a doctor that does the sport injury videos. Yeah, I've seen that guy actually. He does great work. And yeah, thanks for mentioning that, man. I will reach out. Yeah, reach out to see if he's open and invite him on the show. See if he's able to come on and chop it up. Of course, we've got some big shows planned. We've got the post-game live tonight. We'll see if the Knicks, field more than 6-7 guys if Brunson can play. But I think it's smart to just, rest him and probably tank this game tonight. Obviously, we've got 3 more very winnable games before the All-Star break. And I think, tonight's game is the least of our concerns, really. It's another Dallas game. I know Brunson will probably want to play. But we're talking to Bill Pito, right, tomorrow. We'll get his reaction, MSG Network's host as well. And then, 3 more games will be into the All-Star break. We'll be talking to Mark Berman, Bill Daughtry, and some other people as well. Joe Varden from The Athletic, from the Cleveland market as well. Man, the Cleveland Cavaliers, man, they are on a tear. They are like 15-1 in their last 16 games. It's incredible what Spider's doing over there as well. And we can't kid ourselves. They are a real threat to the Celtics. I'm not going to say to us because I think I'm confident we match up really well against the Cavs. Obviously, if Mitch and Ihart's healthy, we know we can dominate the paint. Together with these new acquisitions, I think we have the scoring load. We have the bully ball to be able to match up well with the Cavs. But Cavs-Celtics series, maybe in the first or second round, sign me up for that. That'd be exciting, man. I'll be rooting for the Cavs. If it's Cavs-Bucks or Cavs-Celtics along the way, I'm rooting for the Cavs to knock those guys off. And I think they've got a great chance. Obviously, the Bucks did make a minor move, reaching for the stars, but falling short, getting Pat Bev for campaign, a second-round pick. And then, of course, the Philadelphia 76ers, they did okay, getting also Buddy Hield. Getting Buddy Hield from the Indiana Pacers, and they send Mook Morris, who's been sent to the San Antonio Spurs, who will get waived. Of course, we know the story with Mook Morris and the Spurs. Remember, the New York Knicks did give Mook Morris that late offer sheet, and he reneged on the Spurs deal, and there's some fraction there with Pop out there. So I think Mook Morris will be on the buyout market as well. Does he go back to the Clippers? So that is a fun fact, that Mook Morris can actually go back to the Clippers, I think, because he's been on 2 teams. have been on two teams since then, or three teams actually. So after the Clippers, he went to Philly in the Harden trade, and then Philly traded him to the Pacers, and then the Pacers sent him to the Spurs. So yeah, hypothetically, if Mook Morris was to get bought out, I think he would be able to go back to the Clips. I think, but that'd be interesting. I think we're kind of stacked, so I'll be okay if we don't get Mook Morris, as long as he signs out west. I'll be okay with that. Yeah, Ghetto Intellect says we won the trade deadline. Period. No doubt. Yeah, and that's the case when basically, national media persons, people with no horse in the race, they're telling everybody that the Knicks, fleeced the Detroit Pistons, really. But also it goes back to the OG deal. People are still heaping praise on Leon Rose that, we didn't give up any firsts. And we also get Precious Achua, who's a valuable rotation player as well. We lose Malachi, of course, a couple of seconds, Quentin Grimes, but we bring in all the production that we lost in RJ and Quick as well. But we still keep that flexibility for the future trade. We can extend, or we can pick up the option for Bogey as well. David says Killian Hayes can't shoot to save his life. Hell no. Yeah, I think it's too similar to Deuce McBride anyway in terms of talent level, but Deuce McBride can defend as well. Will says, get me Lowry on the buyout, but I'm good on Killian. Yeah. I think that's the right way. I think I agree with everybody on that note, man. When healthy, you don't want to go up against us for 7 straight games. Yep. 100% Ghetto. I think I like the versatile lineups also we could throw out there. OG, right? We haven't had a chance to talk about, the updated injury status, which is bone spur irritation. I've given my thoughts on Twitter about it. I said it at the time. Whenever you're dealing with elbow inflammation, it's most likely bone spurs as well. Now, I think, again, like the Randall situation, they're going to manage it throughout the season, and I think they can postpone surgery till the off-season, provided it's not too much pain. Of course, you don't want somebody to play through, pain levels of 9 or 10. It's all about the pain level. If it could be managed, given some cortisone shot, some painkillers, let the inflammation heal throughout the All-Star break, and I think we'll be ready to rock, baby. I think, the extra break will give OG a lot of time to be right, I think. And, we all saw how it looked with just Randall and OG. But now, boy, obviously their games are so different, ladies and gents, with RJ and Quick. But just in a nutshell, in terms of scoring, right, it's basically like we kept RJ and Quickly, and we added OG and Precious for free, basically, in terms of no rotation players affected outside of Quentin Grimes. Now, obviously RJ's younger, he can do different things, so can Bogdanovic, so can Burks. But I'm just talking about the production. Salute Danny, what's good? How you feeling about this deal? I'm excited for the rest of the season. Have not been this excited, man, since with a Knicks squad since '99, and I think we're built to go all the way. Really, like Ghetto says, man, no one wants to see us, especially in the open East. Buzzer saying Bucks need a D. That's why they got Pat Bev. Yeah. On the surface, it looks like a minor move, but it could be something that really helps them a lot. In terms of a ball handler and another guy who can guard on the perimeter, relieve Dame a little bit. Obviously, Campaign just wasn't that. So yeah, they swapped Campaign for basically for a better fit as well. A thought for Ryan Archidiakono. Yeah, he'll be okay as well. But yeah, he served us well, fam, with the 3 in the key calls. Helped us out a little bit. Mook Morris is Marcus Morris, fam. Marcus Morris Sr. And Markeith Morris is the other brother that... Markeith is the other dude that never came to us. Marcus Morris is the dude that we had. Danny says we got a Swiss Army knife and a Mr. 3-point bucket in bogey. Yeah, he hasn't lost it, man. He can still stroke it. A Novak 3.0, fam. Literally 3.0, splashing it. And a versatile defender as well. Obviously, he's lost a step. He's 34. But in terms of a bench piece, man, I don't think we could have done any better in terms of a dude who can step into the starting unit as well. Obviously, if we got DeJounte Murray, that would, based on talent, that would have been the best available player to get in terms of a player that's a starter. Like, there's no question. But Bogey comes in, he doesn't really upset any kind of rotation flow. You keep DiVincenzo, obviously OG when he's healthy, Randall, and then Mitch or Ihart. And then, Bogey goes to work off the bench. But should there be any injury and an open roster spot, open starting spot, Bogey's the perfect guy that just can step in. He's been a starter most of his career. Also, he brings the scoring, 20 points a game. He played 32 minutes. I checked his stats. He played 32 minutes. Not Detroit's last game yesterday. The game before that, he played 32 minutes. Put up 11 points, a couple rebounds, a couple of assists, but shot well as well. So yeah, but he's averaging 20 per game on the season. And obviously, Detroit did this deal because, they had a great win last night on the West Coast, I think, for those that didn't see it. They had Jaden Ivey put up 34, Alec Burks put up 25, and basically, they felt good about their young core, giving, those guys more of an opportunity. You get Burks out of there, you get Bogey out of there, and you get in Quentin Grimes. You get a couple of seconds, which I'm going to assume, we haven't had confirmation yet, but I'm going to assume that one of the seconds is the Utah Jazz second from this season. It's going to be a very good second. It might be pick 37, 35. It could be something around 39, somewhere in the 30s. So it's a decent second. So to get 2 of those, to get 2 seconds, to get Quentin Grimes, who was very sought after. Another key note, fam, we found out today that the New York Knicks rejected a trade with the Dallas Mavericks for Josh Green for Quentin Grimes. So that lets you know that we had other plans, for Quentin. Or maybe we didn't have as much plans for a Josh Green. He's on a 3-year contract, 33 million, 11 million per. Quite a decent contract. Josh Green is a nice 2-way player as well. But yeah, obviously, the Detroit Pistons, wanted Quentin Grimes, and we felt he was going to help us get back more. Doc Rivers, yeah, he's going to be coaching the All-Star game, man. The shortest tenure in history for a coach of the All-Star game, man. Danny says, bring back Mook. There is familiarity. I tell you what, man, it'd be funny if he does come. It'll be full circle because we traded Mook. We basically got Mook when we got Randall. We traded Mook to get a draft pick from the Clippers, which became Emmanuel Quickley. Then we flipped Emmanuel Quickley to get OG. And then it'd be funny if Mook Morris comes back. But right now, man, we're stacking up. Right now, we are stacked. In terms of 1 through 11, I think we're the most stacked team in the NBA. I mean, Deuce McBride is the 11th man. Right, that's how you know. Keep it a buck. Um, you know, would would uh would Deuce McBride be in most teams' best 11 guys, most best 10 players? Yeah, the way he's shooting, right, and he's our 11th guy right now. So it's just a reflection of how stacked we are, man. We're strong. We're coming. Yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind, fellas. Vaughn and Will. So yeah, Josh Green from Australia. Had a chance to meet Josh as well. The summer that we signed Jalen, had a nice chat to Josh Green about his relationship with Jalen Brunson out in Dallas. Those two were very close. I think from what I saw, Jalen and Josh Green were those two. Well, Josh was Jalen's closest friend on the team, closest teammate. And yeah, those guys still keep in touch as well. It would have been kind of cool to have Josh Green on the team as well. I like his game, but yeah, things worked out. Things worked out. Maybe at some point in the future as well. I do think Josh Green is a CAA client as well. So, but look, man, we did the best possible move for the now, in terms of the flexibility with Bogey, and in terms of Alec Burks, who, all indications he might be part of the long term. He might be part of the long term future as well. So, yeah. With that said, we have other trades, but basically the Knicks pulled off the biggest move. Still, Dejounte Murray didn't get traded. D'Lo still on the Lakers. They didn't make no moves. The Chicago Bulls, no moves. Bruce Brown still on the Raptors, right? So we had PJ Washington, which I think is one of the most other impactful moves, to Dallas. Grant Williams was really struggling. I started the season with Grant Williams in my fantasy team, and he had an amazing first month of the season. After that, his play just completely dropped off. Like, I'm talking absolutely plummeted. Right, he was averaging like 3 to 4 threes per game, and then he just could not hit a shot, and that's why he got traded. So basically, the Dallas Mavericks got fed up, and I have talked to a lot of Dallas fans. Yeah, it just wasn't working out. It was such a great pickup in the offseason. I'm kind of surprised that he gets traded after his first half of the season. But at the end of the day, they made a nice upgrade. So Grant Williams headed to Charlotte, and PJ Washington, who the Knicks, kicked the tires on, he's headed out to Texas, man. So yeah, that's going to be, I think, one of the second best moves. I think the Pat Bev move that does fit a need. It's not going to really help them that much. I think it's just a minor acquisition. Obviously, campaign is a bit redundant there when you already got Dame. You already got Dame time, man. So, but yeah, my grade is an A+ for Leon Rose for this deal, right? The guy on screen, this helps this guy the most. Obviously, Juju, OG, and the starters. But Brunson is banged up right now. He might play tonight, he might not. I'm cool if he doesn't. But long term, it's going to help his health. It's going to help Jalen take this squad as far as it can go this season. And that's the most important thing about today, ladies and gentlemen. Jalen Brunson's got more help now. He can sit a little bit more. Heck, he can take a few games off for all I care, man. We are going to finish close to 50 wins if we don't get 50. We might have to see Burks at some point. I know people are going to definitely clutch their, or definitely going to be, scratching their eyes out. But Deuce McBride's still capable. We got more ball handling, but Bogey can create a shot. Devo has help as well. And I think it was a home run today, man. Home run. I'm looking forward to seeing tonight's starting unit too, fam. Vaughn. Dallas will be happy if they get a cheap win, but it happens. We've had, Lord knows, we've had a couple cheap wins this season as well, playing against, the G League Memphis squad as well. We did catch a break, I think, against a couple of teams as well without their starters. But I'm excited for the full squad. That's the most important thing, and getting to work. So Joel Embiid's tweeted this out. Lots of people got better! ! But fun for competition. He's watching things. Joel Embiid, man, he sits online, and he definitely watches what's happening, man. So A+ for the A+ for the trade period. Obviously, getting a DeJounte Murray would have been awesome, probably as good as we could possibly do. But this is close to that, if not the same, I feel, because 2 for 1 as well. So we continue to monitor the buyout market, fam. Shams is reporting now the Grizz have waived Victor Oladipo. Ladies and gentlemen, he's kind of another guy that's kind of washed. A little bit further down the buyout order for me. But Victor Oladipo, again, is Tibbs going to play him over Deuce McBride? Probably no. So the Knicks have officially welcomed Burks and Bogdanovic to the squad. Let's get it. It's a done deal. It's official, ladies and gentlemen. They won't play tonight, of course, but next game, it looks like, against Indiana, fam, on a Saturday night. That'll be a done deal. Those guys will be in the rotation and ready, rocking and ready to put up buckets. Now, the Knicks have also thanked Malachi Flynn. Right, he was here for a cup of coffee, man. We salute Evil Dante. Salute, man. There was only one room for one Dante in New York City, and that is the one that puts up 30 points a game. Yep. Salute. The Nets. So the Nets, we'll see. I think they traded Royce O'Neal. They obviously traded Spencer Dinwiddie as well, but they continue to hold on to Mikal Bridges, and they're trying to use him as a chip to lure Donovan Mitchell. I don't think they got a shot, man, but we'll see. Right, who are they going to trade for Donovan Mitchell? That's the thing. Donovan Mitchell can go to them as a free agent, but I don't think it's going to get to that, man. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they're not stupid. They're not going to let it get to the point where a Donovan Spider Mitchell might get to free agency. They're going to trade him before that even gets to that. And what are the Nets going to give up? If they want to keep Mikal Bridges, who else can they offer? If the Knicks can offer, a Bogdanovic, a salary filler, even if you wanted to throw in a Josh Hart or you wanted to throw in a Deuce McBride and all the draft picks that the Cavs want, right? We have a better package, I think. And obviously Donovan Mitchell can say no to these teams. I don't want to go there. I want to go to New York. And then that narrows it down. So we are poised, ladies and gentlemen, to compete now and to bring in the third All-Star if and when that guy is available, because we kept all of our firsts. That is huge, man. We have the lure of playing with this man on the screen. First-time All-Star. He's going to be a soon-to-be All-NBA player as well. Leon Rose, Executive of the Year run. But yeah, in all seriousness, Brunson will be named All-NBA, I feel, in this season. Right, he's buzzing. In the absence of some of the other guys, he's going to continue to, to put up huge buckets. Yep. Victor Oladipo is washed, drained, and folded, man. Yep. Absolutely, man. I'm good on Victor as well, man. I think it's Kyle Lowry or nothing at this point. Mook Morris obviously makes a little bit of sense as well, in case Randall or OG, do miss a little bit of time. Uh, so yeah, back to the OG situation. With OG, right? It's manageable. It's all about the pain. How much can he deal with the pain threshold? We wait for the inflammation to be good. There's no pain, and then he can come back. It's just game to game kind of thing. But those cortisone shots can do wonders, man, with the pain, and they can calm it down. So I think we can manage OG throughout the regular season now. We don't have to really play him 40 minutes a night and just get him ready for the playoffs. That's the most important thing. Too, fam. We absolutely won the trade deadline. There's no more LOL Knicks, man. As we have Zach Lowe say that we're operating like the smartest team in the NBA. Yep. Saying his brain doesn't know how to deal with that after 20 years of LOL, right? Look, we're operating smart, but also for all the people that said this earlier, and shout out to you, another layer to this is the relationships around the league. How do you pull off win-win trades? It's about relationships, too, right? There was animosity between Utah and the Knicks. Danny Ainge, what did we do? We walked away. Right? We ain't dealing with that, You ain't dealing with someone who's trying to fleece you, and you walk away. But, we have solid relationships with Detroit. Friend of the show, Rafael Barlow, dropped a tweet saying, how many deals has the Knicks and Pistons done in the last, year or so? As a joke. I think this is the third or fourth trade. And that's a sign that, these two organizations can do business, right? You need business partners at the end of the day. We help you, you help us kind of thing. And it helps when both franchises are in opposite directions. I think that's generally when you can do great trades. Same with the Raptors. They were trying to retool. They ain't thinking about winning this season. So what did they need? They needed young pieces like RJ and Quickly, and they were able to give us one of their best veterans in OG to help us win now. Also for the Pistons, same thing. We gave them Quentin Grimes, a nice young piece that they can pair up with their other young studs, Jalen Duren, Cade, Jaden Ivey, and we could pair him up with those guys and sell their fan base some hope, and give us those veterans that they don't need no more. So I think Detroit's won 7 games now. 9 games is the NBA history worst record. So I think they feel confident they can win 2 more games and avoid NBA history after winning last night. Waiving Killian Hayes so that they can give Jaden Ivey some more run. Put up 34 points last night. 37, sorry. Jaden Ivey is real. I wanted the Knicks to talk to the Pistons about him. But yeah, last night, I think that cemented it, man. Alec Burks put up 25, and Jaden Ivey put up 37, and they thought, let's give these young guys more run, and let's get Quentin Grimes and some picks for Burks. Obviously, Bogey's getting older as well. He has 22 mil coming up as well. So another reason to trade for him, trade him to the New York Knicks. Yeah, and it's all about relationships once again. Obviously, we're repairing the relationship with Clutch Sports as well. That's awesome for the future of the New York Knicks, and future dealings. And we also did a deal with the Raptors, and we're in concrete discussions to make a second deal with the Raptors. So that bodes well for the future as well. Legal lawsuit aside, I think that both organizations have just made it about basketball, about doing transactions. So yeah, it's the front office, man. It's really come a long way. Like Will says, man, Scott Perry out there greasing the wheels for us in Detroit too. Yep, salute. Yep. Scott Perry, but then also remember Steve Mills when I talk about how far the organization's come and how we used to operate. Man, Steve Mills. Both these guys did help us though in some ways. You know, they did some great things. Um, Obviously, Steve Mills did help us get Randall. He did help us get um, Mook Morris. He was there. We got Mook Morris as part of the cap space, which we were able to flip for Quickly. And think about it. Without Quickly, there's no OG, right? You know, the Raptors did that deal because Emmanuel Quickly was a great young piece, and so we don't get that great young piece if they don't sign Marcus Morris and we swap him to the Clippers for the Quickly draft pick as well. So it goes a ways back, but we've been doing work for a minute, and it just continues to get better and better as we go. Uh, you know, and a huge acquisition, a double acquisition. People were kind of holding their breath. You know, what would the Knicks do? You know, would it be a Bruce Brown only? Would it be Alec Burks only? I think this is the at least if you're even skeptical about this move, it's somewhere in the middle between Murray and the worst case scenario. It's a very 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 good solid move, and I think it makes the New York Knicks a real contender if fully healthy. Uh, and then yeah, we could continue to win ball games coming up. We have the Dallas Mavericks, fam, coming into the Mecca tonight. It goes down 7:30 Eastern, right, on MSG. It's also on this is a national game as well. And I do think Brunson will probably rest. I think it's fair. He's questionable. Now, the the dog in him, the competitor, I think Brunson will want to try to play. So, what do you guys think? I'm like, let's just not risk it. You know, uh, let's throw Deuce out there, Hart, Devo, Charlie Brown. Let's throw. We don't have Archie anymore. Fournier. uh, how uh, how ironic is that? That a night where we might be playing just all of our G Leaguers, Ryan Arcidiacono, Grimes, and Fournier are no longer here. But we probably wouldn't have played Fournier anyway. So yeah, I'm happy for Fournier. He can get to a place where he might be able to play a little bit. He might fill in that veteran void that Bogey leaves as well. He can maybe fill in for some of that shooting, fam. Yeah, and the biggest story of tonight, really, Daryl says Leon did not give up any picks, first round picks. So once again, outstanding. And we continue to have a lot of second round picks as well, you know, for the future too. So that's huge. So yeah, I'm so hyped. I'm happy. I'm buzzing for tonight and for the rest of the season. Obviously, Saturday night's going to be so fun, man, against Indy. Now we, you know, can rest easily without OG and Randall and Grimes, knowing what we have enough help to win any ball game. And dare I say, man, we would have beaten the Lakers with this guy on screen and with Alec Burks. I mean, you can't double, and we're forced to shoot with Josh Hart anymore. So, yeah, continue to let us know about the buyout guys you'd be interested in. We have a lot of guys available right now. Mook Morris, Killian Hayes. Looks like Kyle Lowry will get bought out. Gordon Hayward won't be bought out because he's been traded. So I think the team does want to keep him. However, Victor Oladipo as well. A lot of guys. Maybe Evan Fournier might get bought out, and he can choose where he wants to go. That'd be cool if Evan does get bought out and he signs with the San Antonio Spurs. And he can veteran mentor for Wemby, or he could sign and give some depth to the Timberwolves and be with his man Rudy Gobert as well. Yep. So I think the New York Knicks have wished Evan Fournier a farewell and a thank you as well. They've also given a thank you to Grimes and a Malachi. Leon Rose says, we'd like to extend our deepest thanks to Evan, Malachi, Quentin, and Ryan for their contributions both on and off the court, as well as their professionalism and hard work. We wish all of them nothing but the best moving forward. Yeah, and a thank you to Quentin Grimes as well. That is the toughest loss out of this trade. It's crazy how the season has changed since it started. Talk about a complete 180. Quentin Grimes was our shooting guard, part of the future as well. RJ Barrett was the starting three, and Emmanuel Quickley was the backup point guard as well. And right now we sit here in the third seed of the East with OG Anunoby as a New York Knick, Precious Achiuwa, RJ Barrett, Quickley, Grimes no longer here. And now Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks return to the New York City, to the New York Knicks, ready to get to work, man. Ready to get us to the third seed or above and make a deep playoff run. Here's Leon Rose's quote, also from the New York Knicks PR, on the acquisitions of Bogey and Burks. Leon says, we're thrilled to add these two to the Knicks family and welcome back Alec. Bojan brings a tremendous amount of basketball experience to our team, both from the NBA and international. He's an elite scorer who has solidified himself as one of the best shooters in the NBA, which will complement our team. Alec played an integral role throughout our 2021 season and understands and embraces the culture here and will bring a lot of value to our group. So yeah, he won't do an interview as we know, but that is the quote from Leon Rose. Right, it sinks in now that we have great shooting, shot creation now with our bench and starting unit, man. Now, if the question, I was to ask you, if I was to tell you that OG Anunoby, could get scope surgery and be back in 6 weeks before the playoffs, is that a worthwhile question to ask? And I'm not the first one to ask it. Now, obviously with Bogey, with Burks, with Precious, and a potential buyout guy available like Mook Morris, knowing that, scope surgery, if it is an option, would have OG back for the playoffs, I think that's a worthwhile question to ask, Obviously, it's going to be dictated by how he feels, how they know the medical and the intimate details of how much pain he's in. But like Buzzer asked about Randall, man, I would be more inclined to suggest that OG is more likely to have surgery in the season if it does happen. If either of those two have surgery, it might make more sense for OG because the timeline to recovery is quick, is a lot quicker as well. We have 9 weeks to the first round of the playoffs, basically, and OG can be back within 6 to 8 with a scope cleanup, and with more help. I think that could be a savvy move. I'm just suggesting that might be something they look at as well. Maybe that, and it is a fact. Ian Begley is reporting that the health of Randall and OG was a factor in the New York Knicks swinging this move. And how could it not be? We've seen us now reach the second seed, now in the third seed, and it's all there for the New York Knicks taking, baby. We could get to the finals, right? And we don't want to let this year go to waste. So I think, he went and did what he needed to do. He went and got reinforcements. and not just decent ones, but very, very good ones, very, very good players that can score. We get back 30 points per game between the two of these guys, right? And that's just an average. That ain't on their best day. Like I said last night, Alec Burks put up 25 by himself. Bogdanovic is averaging 20 per game as well. So, I mean, there's going to be nights where these guys are going to carry us to wins. Right? They're that decent. There's going to be nights when both of them combined might put up 40, 45, alongside DiVincenzo and Brunny as well. So, yeah, professional scorers, man. Buzzer says, I liked Mook when he played for us before. Yeah, I think his short stint was decent. He definitely embraced the Knicks. I remember when he hit that buzzer beater over KP, he was like, yeah, man, he was into it, man. He hit that step back on KP when KP came to the MSG with Dallas for the first time. I think after that trade as well. That was a fun night, man. But speaking of fun nights, man, there's going to be a lot more starting from tonight, fam. I'm just going to enjoy the game. Whoever plays, plays. But yeah, we got Indiana, and then we got Houston on the road, and then Orlando, and then we got a little break, fam. We'll be live post game 10 p.m. after the game tonight, and also tomorrow we'll be dropping a podcast with the one and only Bill Pedo, MSG Network's host. Talk to Bill about the moves done today. Hyped as it is, man. Buzzer says, has anyone noticed Dolan has been incommunicado? Yeah, Dolan obviously he's got the Sphere, who's going to be hosting the NHL draft. He's got, the Sphere, he's got music, and he's got the other stuff, that I'm not going to talk about. That's basketball aside for me. But yeah, Dolan's got a lot of other things on his plate, man. I'm cool with Dolan in the background. 007 says, CT, hopefully Fournier will find a good restaurant in Detroit so he won't get the runs again. Man. You said it. Hopefully he can find comfort in Detroit, man. Hopefully he can find comfort and be a veteran to some of those guys. But yeah, I won't be surprised if he's bought out, too, fam. He has the option as well, or they can just let that money expire as well. Wouldn't it be funny if Fournier gets bought out and he signs with Indiana to replace Buddy Hield, or he signs with Philly, man, to be a nemesis off the bench, or the Milwaukee Bucks to try to replace some of campaign as well. Look out for Evan Fournier to possibly be a buyout candidate, man. You know what I think should sign Evan Fournier if he gets bought out, in all seriousness? The LA Lakers. Right. LeBron, man, if Evan gets bought out, man, La La Land, man, Hollywood, you can catch some sun after all the issues he's been through in New York. And he could maybe get some minutes off the bench for LA in the play-in. But yeah, man, it's going to be crazy, the buyout market as well. I mean, more quality players than we've seen, I think, in years past. Not that really any of them's really, moving the needle. But, if you're some of these teams trying to get the depth that the New York Knicks have, you're going to be looking at some of these guys. Kyle Lowry is probably going to be one of the better guys. Now, Killian Hayes will probably go to a younger team. That's, maybe the Chicago Bulls. They lost Lonzo Ball. Maybe somebody to back up Kobe White. That might work. See, the interesting thing is the Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta, they keep DeJounte, they keep Trey. So that's going to be something to watch moving forward. It's going to be interesting, man. Edwards says, I'm more afraid of playing against Grimes in the future as well. Yeah, Grimes needs to find consistency. I think he's going to get that in Detroit. He's going to get the minutes. And you know what? He fits their timeline. Cade, Ivy, Duran. He's going to be able to grow up with the baby Pistons and maybe be a winner with them one day. See, the thing about Grimes is he could have easily stayed and contributed for the Knicks, but he never really fit the timeline, and that's why Devo replaced him. Because with Randall, Brunny, now All-Stars, All-NBA guys, and Tibbs is 60, 66, 68 years old, we're ready to rock right now. We're ready to win. And I think Quentin Grimes taking a step back in production this season, I think that sealed his fate necessarily. I think the Knicks didn't have a worry about his future ceiling. I think they're still high on his ability. I just think it came down to fit, and right now we're ready to contend. See, that's the thing in the NBA. You never know when your window just opens. It's open right now, and none of us really expected it throughout the start of the year. We knew we were close, but when your window opens, it opens. You need to go for it. You can't decide when your window is going to open. When it opens, it does. The rest of the NBA lets you know that it's time to go for it. And the Bucks are floundering. If we win tonight, we pass the Bucks. We still technically possibly in the second seed because the Cleveland Cavaliers have 3 games in hand. They might lose those games, and we are in second seed by default. So yeah, it's crazy. It's right there, man. And we haven't really played Boston since getting OG. Yeah. See, all those Boston games was, it's not really relevant anymore because we got a completely different squad, and we have a better squad. So if you think about it, the likes of Tatum, who always goes off against us. Now we have a wing stopper with OG Anunoby, and then Jaylen Brown likes to turn the ball over a lot. He can get erratic. Chris Stapps is in and out of the hospital all the time. I mean, you just never know, man. Al Horford is 40 years old. I think we can really take these guys, man. I'm just excited to see everybody back healthy. I want to see this squad, what it looks like on the court. But, depth-wise, I mean, good luck to the rest of the East. I mean, Mitchell Robinson is a big factor in all of this, right? Could you imagine a squad bringing Mitchell Robinson off the bench, ladies and gentlemen, a potential all-defensive team player off the bench, right? That's unheard of, basically. Mitchell Robinson would be the starter on 25, maybe more, 25 at least NBA teams. Would Mitchell Robinson be the starter of? Right? Maybe he wouldn't start on the Nuggets, of course, because he got the Joker. The Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert would probably still start, but I can't really think of many other teams that would not start Mitchell Robinson as well. Right? Another Leon Rose masterstroke of signing Isaiah Hartenstein, man. Hell, Isaiah Hartenstein would start on 20 plus NBA teams as well. And we're talking about Mitch maybe coming off the bench. So that in itself lets you know why NBA Today and the rest of the world is talking about the New York Knicks right now as winning the trade deadline. And Leon Rose is really, and not just Leon Rose. I know people keep mentioning only Leon Rose, but Worldwide West, Gerson Rosas. I think a lot of these guys do the legwork. Gerson Rosas was a president as well before this with the Minnesota Timberwolves. He has a ton of NBA experience. He's been dubbed a very, very smart man as well. So let's give Gerson Rosas as well his props, because he's not the face, but he's doing a lot of the work as well. And of course, Worldwide West. is always around talking to everybody. So yeah, as a front office collective, it's definitely paying off. Buzzer says 50 plus wins seems more realistic now, so I'll change my grade to an A minus. Yep, let's get it, fam. Salute. We're hyping it up for you. Let's get this thing to an A, too, fam. What if these guys play on Saturday against Indiana, and they put up 40 points between the two? Again, what if Bogdanovic and Burks put 20 each on Halliburton's head, and with Brunny, and we beat the Indiana Pacers again? Man, that'd be fun. Alex Caruso's they're in Chicago. Yeah, he's a situation where they're happy to keep him. Yeah, he's a great two-way guy. Before we wrap this thing up, of course, we'll be live in a matter of hours after the game. The New York Knicks have 2 roster spots right now as well, and we need to sign one more guy per the NBA minimum. So that lets you know that the Knicks have to do something else. Now, they could sign Taj Gibson for the rest of the season. Right now he will be on the second 10-day. But we could give Taj that final spot and keep the 15th spot open. But without doing that yet, the Knicks have 2 spots available right now. There's buyout guys. We'll see what happens, man. Really, man, we got rid of some dead weight. Ryan's not here. Evan's not here. We only have guys that basically play outside of the two-way players now. Taj is always going to play. Deuce is playing. Precious, and the 2 new guys as well. We've got Charlie Brown, and we've got the other guy with Jacob Toppin and Dwayne Washington. Yeah, is the guy. So I think, there's going to be another move to come. I'll continue to refresh, and we'll wrap this thing up in maybe 10 minutes. Then let your final thoughts and questions out there, man, before we come back post-game. Will says, I want to see MJ Burks wear the 4-5. Yeah, salute. MJ Burks. Taj Burks. So per KC Johnson covering the Chicago Bulls for the Tribune, it says Bulls ownership was prepared to approve a rebuild, but Vice President, I can't pronounce his name, I think he's Lithuanian, chose not to proceed in that direction and instead opted to maintain the current roster. Wow, that is something huge. So Bulls ownership was prepared to approve their rebuild, but the Vice President chose to not proceed. Oh, I think they want to continue to try to win some games. They're still in the play-in, I guess. As Steve Popper is also alluding to, for all the trades made, Brogdon, Bruce Brown, DeJounte Murray, Clarkson, Kuzma, and all the Bulls and the Lakers stay pat. Yeah, lost a lot of words wasted on these rumors. What did I tell everybody, man? Right? I always said it. All these trade rumors, talks, nobody knows what actually is happening. It's just to fill people's pockets, right? And sell some articles, basically. Nobody ever knows what's going to happen because people keep it close, and teams still negotiate, right? It's like trying to predict what's going to happen when teams are still negotiating. So yeah, Bruce Brown still with the Raptors, Murray still with the Hawks as well. Brogdon still with the Blazers, Clarkson still in Utah, Kuzma still on the Wiz, and the Bulls and Lakers did nothing. Man. And what did the New York Knicks do? They went out and surprised everybody by getting Bogey and Burks as well, and trading Quentin Grimes. In fact, further to my point, man, Wasn't the report the other day that the New York Knicks don't want to part with Grimes, that they're prepared to start to keep him now? And then what happens 2 days later, man? They traded him. So that lets you know these articles are BS. A lot of it's posturing as well. So yeah, the word got out that the Knicks are cool with keeping Grimes to increase his value. And then 2 days later, man, he's on a plane to Detroit, man, for Alec Burks and Bogey, man. What's good, Gerald? Yeah, Kyle Lowry. Yeah, he's a bigger name on the buyout market. I think Tibbs would love to get him in here as well. Complete the Nova squad, minus Archie. But yeah, I think Kyle Lowry will have a lot of suitors, man. Maybe a bigger role as well on Philly. What's good, Legendary? So tonight's game, Brunson is questionable, but I think it's more doubtful. But if Brunson doesn't start, if Brunson is out, it's going to be Deuce McBride, DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, Precious Achua, and Isaiah Hartenstein, I would assume. And then the only bench player available is Taj Gibson, Jacob Toppin, and Charlie Brown and Dwayne Washington. So I think, yeah, Deuce will get the start if Brunson doesn't play. We'll still have DiVincenzo. We should still have Josh Hart. He's not on the injury report. Yep. So I think, yeah, Hart's not on any injury report, but they might pull the carpet underneath that. We'll see. So Patrick Beverley, salute to him. He broke the news of him getting traded on his own pod. So that's more power to the players now. And this is a funny situation. So Pat Bev had a convo with Daryl Morey, the Sixers GM, 2 weeks ago. And Pat Bev said, "Am I getting traded?" And Morey said, "You? No, not you. No, of course not." And then today, Patrick Beverley was traded to the Bucks. So that lets you know, man, it's a business. Things can change. It's always fluid. And that's why, some of these reports are accurate as well, but sometimes they're outdated. You might get word that the Knicks, they're happy keeping Grimes. And then an offer comes in 2 days later that, is too good to pass up. And then, they trade Grimes. So yeah, things change quickly, man. But yeah, I like what Dallas did. I think PJ Washington is a really good pickup because Grant Williams was buns, for them. Beverly is a better fit with the Bucks instead of Campaign. So I think that was a decent move. I think Philly kind of did the best they could with Buddy Hield, giving them a little bit of scoring. And, and they got rid of Mook Morris, a player that was surplus for them. So I think, and then of course, Indiana did get, well, they had Mook Morris, but then they traded him. So yeah, really, Indiana didn't really get much stronger. I'm not really worried about the Bucks at all. I'm not worried about Philly with Embiid down. It's us and the Celtics after this. Cleveland Cavaliers, of course, continue to tick along, and they continue to win. But yeah, now that the dust has settled on the 2023 trade deadline, all eyes now on the road ahead to the NBA playoffs. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be buzzing. And we're going to be there for the ride, fam, with everybody right here on the streets of buzzing. Smash that like button. Yeah, and this is the best squad I've seen since 1999. And that's with all due respect to the likes of Carmelo, Amari Stoudemire, and, Tyson Chandler, J.R. Smith, and that squad. But yeah, this is the best talent, 11 men talent on a roster now. Tom Thibodeau, no excuses, man. I think he got what he wanted, man. As a veteran guy, no more young players anymore outside of Deuce. DiVincenzo's, he's only 26, so he's still got a lot of years left. But yeah, back to Tibbs, man. I think he has to push the right buttons, man, health permitting. This is Tibbs' best shot at a chip. Talk about those years with the Bulls, like, buzzer beater, brought up, which was a great observation. Having Derrick Rose, Luol Deng, Carlos Boozer, Joakim Noah. I mean, this squad's way more talented, man, and deeper as well. So we got more shooting with the two new guys today. We got scoring. We got versatile lineups, and we got Brunson some help. I mean, that's the best thing, man. It's like those guys that always wanted Carmelo Anthony, us to get Melo some help. And unfortunately, I mentioned, Stoudemire. He went down. Chandler couldn't score. And then those guys left us after 1 year with Camby and Rashid and Kidd. But now we're built to continue to win, man. We're built sustainable. And it's going to be fun, man. The East is wide open, man. Gerald says, rest JB tonight. Let Deuce handle with Charlie Brown and Toppin play. Yeah, fam, I think it makes sense, really. I think knowing that we have these two new pieces with the likes of the Indiana, Houston, and Orlando games, we could realistically finish this run 3-1. We could realistically finish these 4 games 3-1 still. So tonight's game ain't that meaningful, really, for me. It's about Brunson's health, man. We don't want that ankle to get any worse than what it is. I think he's okay. He can walk. He can play. I think most likely he's questionable. Maybe the kind of sicko in Tibbs and competitor in Brunson. Maybe he does play 20 minutes. I mean, you give us a great chance to win. Maybe he plays 25, see how the game goes, and then maybe they sit him in the second half. Does that make any sense, though? If you're going to sit him, just sit him the whole game, I think. Yep, competence on deck. Vaughan says, finally, I think a great team comp is the 04 Pistons, fam. That's a really good comparison in terms of a championship winner, but a team, I think, doesn't have as much scoring as we do, I think. Obviously, they had Defensive Player of the Year in Ben Wallace, man. But Chauncey Billups at the point. Obviously, we got Brunson, who's bordering on a superstar right now, all NBA guy, man. Yep. Yep, Bojan's in the building. Yep, Pete 34, salute. Great pickup. And a player who's going to love it in here. I think he's played for Brooklyn before. He's been in New York. He's going to have a great role, catching and shooting, living off the doubles that Randall and Brunson get. He's also going to let DiVincenzo not get swarmed so much as well, and he's going to be able to create. 007 says, I bet Stephen A. crying his eyes out we didn't get LeBron, Embiid, and Spider Mitchell all in one 2K trade. Yeah, he's a fake fan. For real. It's all about clicks for Stephen A. Now, I got respect for Stephen A. He's a funny dude. No doubt he loves his Knicks, but I think, he goes about it the wrong way, man. Obviously he's on, a huge stage. He gets the spotlight. Sometimes that goes to people's heads, when you got the spotlight. He can act a fool as well. He should be a good representative of the Knicks in New York, right? But he does some weird stuff. But I think he's still got to be happy. I think we won the trade deadline, and that we don't get to say that very often, man. With Phil Jackson, etc., we never did make many moves, but Leon Rose has always been active, and it's always paid off in the season. If you're talking about Derrick Rose, that magical run, in 2020, Josh Hart, that run as well catapulted us last season, and then again OG and then this move, man. Just been huge for us. So I'm hyped. I can't wait for tonight. And of course, to speak to Bill Pito tomorrow. And I will drop that at lunchtime. But yeah, we'll see you all tonight, 10 p.m. This is going to be a fun stretch, man. I'm ready for war. I'm ready to rock with the Knicks for the rest of this year. We brought in 2 new guys, but familiar face with Alec Burks, right? He's going to come in and hopefully avenge that loss in the playoffs, or help us avenge the 2020 loss to the Atlanta Hawks, right? But we're not as reliant on him. Better squad, right? Better depth, better talent, and more equipped to win the East. Ladies and gentlemen, the Boston Celtics have to be a little nervous right now. Maybe very nervous. We'll see. Health permitting for them with Kristaps and the like. But they did make a move earlier, as we know. Xavier Tillman, they welcomed in as well for some big man depth. So this thing could be a 2-horse race, right? With Joel Embiid out for 6 weeks at least. The second seed is there, baby, and we're coming, right? With or without OG or Randall, we're coming for that second seed. Cleveland Cavaliers got some games to play as well. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us and watching along for the trade deadline. I think the Knicks won the trade period. And as we said, not many big players changed teams. So an even bigger win for the Knicks. And we'll see you again post-game live after the Dallas game tonight.